Hey. Oh man, we are live. This is crazy. First ever live stream. Now, we simply just gotta wait for people to start joining in. What's this? This is my first time doing this, so just looking. Hey, we got one person. How you doing? Let's go. Bear with me as this is my first time ever being live. 2 people, there we go. Guys, jump in. There we go. Alex, what's good? Yeah, just bear with me, guys. This is my first ever live stream. Hey, Jacob, what's good? What's good? Okay, got a couple people in here. Appreciate the support, y'all. Yes, sir. As you guys can tell, I need a better camera. This is bad. For my people that are in here, can you let me know if the audio is good? If it sounds too loud, I'll move this away. If it's not loud enough, I'll put it closer. Whatever you guys think. I don't want it to sound terrible, you know. Oh man, this is sweet. This is sweet. Audio is good. Okay, perfect. Jacob, you're lying, brother. Bro's trying to troll me right now. No, I think the mic is on, bro. Pretty sure. I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pin ask a question and hang out. All right. Oh, okay. Perfect, perfect. Shit, Jacob, how's everything going, bro? Last leg day in the off season, huh? That is sick, bro. I'm about to start prep here. I think like 1st of February. Should be pretty good. February 1st. First stop is going to be New York. So that makes it, I think, around 14 weeks out from New York. Something like that. So that should be pretty cool. 5 people in here. Okay. I actually told everyone that I'm going to start the live stream at 6 p.m. So hopefully around 6 p.m. we got some more heads. I was just really eager to jump on and start going. Yeah, I feel you, bro. Same here. I've been on a cruise phase for about 6 weeks now. So probably 2 to 3 more weeks on the cruise phase. And then we'll be ready to start stripping things down, see what's under all this fluff, you know. I'm definitely at that point in the off season though, where, I'm having a force feed big time. Some days are easier than others, but yeah, it's tough nonetheless. Yesterday, I literally messaged my coach, and I never ever do this because I'm not like one to complain, but I told him, hey bro, like at what point is this just we got to force feed because we got to get the food down versus okay, this is just destroying my digestion, blowing out my midsection. Like, is this even worth it? And he pretty much just told me just to get the food down, bro. We don't want to drop the food before we start prep. So yeah, I mean, that's what happened. So 6 people in here. Yes. Hopefully we can get up to like 15, 20. That would be pretty sick. Those heavyweight bars, bro. They were all good, but if you ever get a chance to buy some, which you probably won't because you're about to start prep and they're always selling out. Dude, the Salty Bay. Oh my goodness. If you guys have never seen the heavyweight bars, look them up on Instagram. Heavyweight chocolate. Dude, it's like chocolate bars this big and they're all filled. 11 people. Okay. Now we're cooking. Big ass chocolate bars like this big, like literally a brick. And they're all filled with different things like One of them's called the Pink Pony. It's got like animal circus cookies, birthday cake filling, and like cookie butter in there. And that one was really good. But I really like the Salty Bay. Salty Bay is just a regular chocolate bar, but it has like pretzels, potato chips, Reese's Pieces in there. So if you're a chocolate peanut butter kind of guy, sweet salty kind of person, the heavyweight chocolates are the best, but especially Salty Bay. So shout out to them. They actually sent me like 4 bars just to try. So it was pretty good. Oh man, how's everybody doing? 12 people. What do we all train today, guys? Personally, I trained back and buys. Right now, since the Olympia, back and buys has been like 3 times a week, literally just spamming back. Favorite isolate flavor of all time from the Sebum isolate is going to go ahead and be my bread and butter, the chocolate peanut butter. I put that shit on everything. I put it in my oats, cream of rice. I make waffles with it, whey drip. I'm a huge chocolate peanut butter. So, you know, you got an ad. Oh, to be honest, bro, I think when I started the live, it had asked me if I want like ads to be put on there, and I was just like clicking yes, yes, yes on everything just to get it started. So if you guys get an ad, that's why. Um, Detroit Pro, man, I would love to do Detroit. A couple of months ago, I wanted to apply for the Arnold. Hit this show in California called Fit World. That's usually in March, and then also do Detroit. Just because Fluad's show is so sick, bro. The black backdrop, like the theater, like dude, the Gilco's there, so you get really, really good videos and photos. Production is just so sick, man. Um, it's crazy. So that was the plan. But after the Olympia, we decided, okay, the Olympia is in October. We have a good amount of improvements to make, and these other shows that we want to do, like the Detroit Arnold and stuff, that's in March. So we would have only had like maybe a 2 month off season, which really isn't enough, to make any substantial progress or changes. So, but yeah, maybe next year, 2027, we'll be hitting Detroit. The inspiration, that's a good one. The inspiration that made me want to start competing, I think when I was like 14, 15, I was really getting into the gym seriously, like going every day with my buddies. Um, Really, really getting after it, even doing 2 a day sometimes. I was just obsessed with training. I love the pump. I love how it felt. I love getting stronger, all these things. And then I had met this really, really buff guy. He was like the biggest guy at our local gym. And his name was Mike. And Mike and I somehow ran into each other, introduced ourselves to one another. And then, long story short, we started training. And he showed me pictures of Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, showed me, how to train like them, train heavy, drop sets, all this type of stuff. And then I started looking at, this stuff for myself. And I was just blown away. Like when I first saw a video of Phil Heath and Jay Cutler, I remember showing my mom. I was like, Mom, look how crazy this is. Look how sick this looks. This is so crazy. I never once thought it was like gross or weird or anything like that. I always thought it was just like so sick that someone could look like that. And then I've always just loved the progress of building my body, and then kind of competing kind of falls into that, like if you build your body to a certain level and you're super dedicated anyways, it's like ultimately you'll find your way to get on stage. And then once I did that first show, got bit by the bug, and it's literally like there's no other feeling like getting on stage. So once I did that first show, I was hooked. God Mod, what is up, man? Honestly, I'm a firm believer that hair thinning and, losing your hair on cycle, it's just purely genetic, man. Like I know people that it's crazy because there's people that I went to high school with that are like mid 20s. They've never taken a cycle in their life and they have no hairline. All their hair has fallen out already, or they have super super thin hair and they've never taken a cycle or taken tests or taken anything. And that just goes to show. So like, let's say a guy like that jumps on a big cycle, he's definitely gonna have his hair fall out super super quick. Thankfully, with me, I've never really had my hair thin. In the beginning of my career, like a couple years in, I noticed that my hairline did start to kind of creep back a little bit. But I feel like the last couple of years, it's been kind of steady and it's still pretty thick. So I'm very, very blessed in that sense. Yeah, that was the thing, man, with Sam. Um, so someone had asked, can't wait to see you compete against Sam Sulik. He's doing the Arnold. So I really, really wanted to do the Arnold so bad. And I would have got accepted too because I won 3 shows. And they pretty much accept anyone that's won a show before. So, but I think he's going to do really, really good. There's 12 guys. I can see him being like 7th or 8th. It's all really just going to come down to like how conditioned and how peeled he can get, because he is self-coached, and like at the NPC level you can get away with like not being fully in shape, or you could get away with like not peaking perfectly. But in the pro level, especially at the Arnold, like, well, these guys are no joke. All these guys have world-class coaches. They have years and years of competition experience. So it's going to be a tall task for sure. But as far as like Sam's size, I think he's got plenty of size, and I think it's going to be a really, really good learning experience for him. So, and props to him. He makes so much money. He's an influencer. Like he doesn't even have to get on stage. So, and he's putting it all out there. What are my thoughts or opinions on being a certain age and doing a show, 40 plus to be exact? I think anyone at any age can do a show. And if they want to do a show, just to do it, because it's something when you get older, like 60s, 70s, it's going to be a lot harder to do. And personally, for me, I don't ever want to look back in my life with like regret, right? Like I don't want to look back and be like, damn, I never did that bodybuilding show. I always wanted to do it, but I never did it. And I look at a bodybuilding show for, say, someone like you, Joel, like think of it as a personal challenge. Like, can I push myself to really, really get in shape and like be in the best shape I've ever been in my life and stick to a diet and do all these things? Like, it's fun, man. It's a fun process. So I would definitely recommend doing it despite, being 40 plus. All right. All right. Um, yeah, me and Sam, I don't know how much Sam weighs. I believe we are the same height, though. I believe he's 5'11" as well. And if he is 5'11", his cutoff in the pro league is 227, because that's what mine is. I don't know how much Sam weighs, though. I don't really watch any of his stuff. So if anyone knows how much Sam weighs, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, 5 people in here. Not too bad. I told myself, even if 2 people are in here, I'll be thankful, because at least I get to chat with some people. I'm not expecting, 1,000 people to come in on this first live stream, but, you know, if a handful of people come in and, you know, chat it up for a bit, I am very much appreciative. So it's good. Um, so at the Olympia, 3 days out, my lowest weight was 219. So that was morning weight. That was like the lowest I got. The whole prep was 219. And then after obviously manipulating some fluid, or more like adding fluid back in, carbing up, I believe the morning of the show, we woke up at like 223. So, but to put it in a perspective, like guys that are 5'11", my height, and their cutoff is 227, they're literally peeled to the bone at like 240 pounds. And they have to like kill themselves, suck down, cut water, do everything they possibly can to make that 227 cutoff at weigh-ins. Once they make their height and weight, they feed all the way back up to like 240 pounds. So the guys that are the same height as me are literally 20 pounds heavier than me on stage. So it definitely makes a big difference. Right now, I was 255 this morning. So, yeah, the heaviest I've been this off season, it's like 255, 257 ish, and then kind of came back down to like 252, and now it's kind of right back up to 255. So pretty good, pretty good. 9 people in here. What is up, guys? What is up? Feel free to ask some questions. Appreciate you hopping in the stream. Hey, what's up, Drew? What's up? What did me and P do after the Olympia? Did you guys try and rebound? Yeah, so every single show I've ever done, even before prom, I've always just health phased immediately after the show, came off everything, went to TRT, still reversed, so slowly added weight back on, slowly added calories back in the diet, kept cardio in. And, this year it was actually Prob's idea because at the Olympia, he had told me, bro, your blood work is always really, really good. So right after the Olympia, like a week after the Olympia, I want you to get lab work done. And depending on how it comes back is what we'll do. So sure enough, got the lab work done, came back really, really good. And he's like, okay, let's push. So we did run like a pretty solid cycle dosage wise, more than I've ever done. And we ramped up the food super, super high. I got food all the way up to 900 grams of carbs. And yeah, bro, put on, I think, 30 pounds in 8 weeks. And I liked it, bro. Honestly, I really, really liked it. I like both, to be honest, because I feel like ultimately it ends up being the same. Because if you come off everything and you TRT for, say, 8 to 10 weeks, you're still going to gain 15, 20 pounds. And then by the time you jump back on, you'll be nice and lean. So I feel like the end result's kind of the same. It just really depends if you can stay healthy for long enough, right? How many shows am I doing? Right now, I believe there's 4 lined up, potentially 5. It really just depends on how those first like 2 to 3 of them go. In a perfect world, we'd love to qualify like as soon as we can for the Olympia and then just shut it down. So, yeah, I mean, that's the goal in a perfect world, but with the new point system, you have to get a ton of points. So, the points are going to be super important. So if we got to do 6 shows, 7 shows, 8 shows, if the body can handle it, like we're going to run it. So, a difference from switching to machines from free weights. Honestly, I don't touch any free weights at all anymore, like none. The only free weights I do now is maybe like a dumbbell curl or like a dumbbell side raise, but the days of like heavy dumbbell pressing and dumbbell rows and barbell squats, I don't deadlifts, like I don't do any of that stuff. I always do machines now, and it's been like that for the last like year and a half or so. I've noticed the biggest difference in my joints, connective tissues, but also just development. Being able to find a machine that really works well with the mechanics of your body, being able to adjust the machine perfectly to how you need it. And then also a lot of these machines, especially for like back, for example, are all chest supported. So you're able to really, really just lock yourself in and focus on the targeted muscle. Versus free weights, they use a lot of stabilizers. And I think the biggest thing is just risk of injury, and overall wear and tear. Look at anyone that's ever torn a pec or torn a rotator cuff. It's always from flat bench, from, their shoulder falling backwards on a shoulder press. I mean, or think of like long-term damage, right? Like someone who's doing deadlifts for 15, 20 years as a bodybuilder, their hips, their lower back, like all that plays a role and will take a toll long term. So in my mind, if I could preserve my body and my joints and my tissues for as long as possible, that's going to increase my longevity. So that's why I lean more to that. Joel, you made the decision to start training. 5'2", height makes a difference. Well, thankfully for you, being 5'2", you'll be able to really fill out your frame very, very quickly. And you probably already look pretty dense at 5'2". The biggest thing, man, regardless of height, is just going to be like coming in as shredded as you can, especially at like, a local show, a smaller show. A lot of these people just don't even come in shape. They barely have visible abs, their glutes aren't in, whatever it may be, or they don't have like a really, really good coach. So their peak isn't very good. It's some cookie cutter plan. So if you have a good coach, man, and if you come in shape and you get as peeled as you can, that's always going to stand out at an NPC show. So that is going to be my best bet to you. So even though you're 5'2", if you're peeled to the bone, you're going to get a fair look. So, and you'll definitely beat someone who's, say, 6 foot tall but not in shape. Insulin on those heavy carb days, yeah. So this year we started using Lantus on those bigger insulin days. I mean, not bigger insulin days, bigger higher carb days. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely helped a ton with insulin sensitivity, keeping blood glucose in a healthy range while pushing food that high, keeping the body sensitive, nutrient partitioning, a lot of good benefits, man. You just have to use it properly. And 20 units of Lantus is also not a very big dose at all. So Jay Stamper, what's up, man? God Mod. Travels with PMB. What's up? 12 people in here. Nice. I appreciate it, guys. Honestly, I never really talked this much, so I got to keep drinking water. It's like my throat's already getting dry. Yeah, bro. Dumbbell presses, anything over 130, kicking that shit up and like pressing it and even taking them off the rack, and then you got to pick them back up and re-rack it. It's a lot, man. To do that week after week, yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, a machine, you just throw on some plates or pin-loaded machine, whatever it may be. It's so much easier. It's so much safer as well. The body part I love training, man. Honestly, I love all body parts, bro. I love training chest, back. I mean, who doesn't love training legs? I love all of it. What I don't love is when I have like some nagging pain. Like, let's say sometimes my knees will be hurting. I go try to train legs super hard and, my knees hurt. Then it's super frustrating because like the load I can use is limited. Every rep, it's like my knee will hurt and I have to stop like shy of failure because my knee hurts too bad. That sucks, bro. So, let's see, God Mod. Bro, after your next cheat meal, you should do the big Lenny breakfast challenge of 1 pound flank steak, half a box of Cheerios, quart of lactose-free whole milk, 30 grapes, 2 bananas, and 3 applesauce. The Lenny breakfast challenge. Is that like at a restaurant or something, or is that like an influencer who that's like his go-to meal or something? Because that honestly doesn't sound like a lot, bro. Like 1 pound of flank steak is nothing. If I go to a steakhouse, I usually get like a 12-ounce steak anyways. And 1 pound is just going to be 4 more ounces, which is really not that much. And then the half box of Cheerios, that's light work. And then the quart of lactose-free milk, that'll just go with the Cheerios, so that's perfect. And then applesauces will be easy. Grapes will be easy. 2 bananas, I'll probably throw in with the cereal and mix it all up. So, yeah, I mean, I could definitely probably do that, bro, to be honest. 16 people in here. Let's go. This is the most people we've had. Hovered between like 10 to 12. We got 16. Guys, if you check the chat, I got it pinned. Ask a question. It doesn't even have to be fitness related. It could be anything related, honestly. Whatever advice you might need, or even if it's a subject you want to talk about. We could talk about the Arnold. We could talk about the last Olympia. We could talk about tax season. Got taxes coming up. We could talk about YouTube, whatever it may be. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. What would you change bodybuilding wise as far as diet, training, recovery? It's a good question, man, because I would say that's tough because when I was younger, I did train like a maniac. But the body was fresh, right? Like I could do barbell squats twice a week for a year straight. Um, so that's really, really tough. If I had to give any advice to like my younger self, it would be to tell myself to hire a coach sooner. Like once I started working with Prob, I was already 24 years old. No, I was 25 years old already. And it made the biggest difference in the world. He completely changed my career. Just having a coach to put me in the right direction and elevate my career. I always think like, what if I would have hired him when I was, say, 20 years old? Like how much better I could potentially be, where I could be at. I was competing since I was 19. So essentially I competed for 6 years before I started working with Prob. And that's 6 years of progress that I didn't lose out on because I still made progress. But I feel like I could have been so much farther along, right? Let's see. Andrew Lopez, what's good, my bro? Top 3 things to do outside of bodybuilding, not including eating food. That's a good caveat because my whole entire day is just cooking and eating, literally nonstop. Like the only reason I'm doing an hour is because I have to literally get a meal in. So, top 3 things to do. I would say definitely spend time with my dogs. Love taking my dogs to the park. Love taking them on walks. We have a pretty good sized backyard. So I literally will just take a ball out there and chase them down, throw the ball. I just love playing with my dogs, man. Anything I can do with my dogs is so fun. And then I haven't done it in a while, but I really like volunteering at the animal shelter too. They have a dog center and a cat center too. I usually prefer to go to the dog center, but essentially you could just go into the kennels, interact with them, play with them, pet them, give them treats, take them on walks. Like it's really, really cool, man, because a lot of these dogs in the shelters, they're in their small kennel for like 20 hours a day, 22 hours a day. And like, if any of you guys have dogs, like that's a really shitty life, like no human interaction, like dogs thrive on interaction, right? And so yeah, I like doing that, helping them out, folding laundry, cleaning, that type of stuff. And then love spending time with the homies, man. 19 people in here. Let's go. I appreciate all you guys, man. If you're just joining, I'm simply just, kind of answering some questions here in the chat. It doesn't even have to be fitness questions, guys. You could just literally throw out whatever question, even sports. I'm a big sports guy. College football, NBA, NFL. We can talk about the playoffs. I'm an open book, guys. But as far as the third thing I like to do is spending time with the homies, man. Like at least like once or twice a month, we usually go to my boy Austin's house. We literally just went on Saturday. We had a Mario Kart tournament, literally just playing Mario Kart. Our friend Josh brought a tri-tip, so he barbecued some tri-tip, some potatoes, just eating, some good food, hanging out with the homies, talking about life, and just all kicking it, man. That's the biggest thing I would say. Kyler, what is up, man? Met you at the Olympia. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for tuning into the live stream too. It's my first one, and I'm kind of boring, so I appreciate you hopping in, bro, and showing love. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing good, man. Happy New Year. Who do I want to win the Super Bowl? Well, unfortunately, guys, guilty confession. It's kind of embarrassing. Can anyone guess what my favorite NFL team is, I'll wait. What do you guys think the favorite NFL team of mine is? And I'll give you a hint. They are not in the playoffs. So, but as far as who's in the playoffs right now, who I want to win, I think it'd be really cool to see the Bills win. Just because that fan base, man, is crazy. They're so loyal, and Josh Allen's really really sick, and he's his hometown is about an hour from me in Fireball, so that's pretty cool. Also, like my family is a 49er fan, so it would be really cool for them to see, like, to get a Super Bowl. My dad's a 49er fan. My little brothers are 49er fans. It would be really cool, especially because they've been to 3 Super Bowls and they've lost all 3 in the last like 15 years. So that's pretty tough. Hopefully they can finally cross the hill and maybe get it this year. But as far as the team, I am a Raider fan, which is so depressing. But I'm loyal. I'm loyal, man. I could have switched my team a long time ago. Um, but we got the #1 pick, so hopefully Fernando Mendoza, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Hopefully they actually pick the right person. 16 people in here. What is up, guys? 30 minutes strong. All right, let's see. Let's get through some more of these questions here. Training frequency on muscle groups. So the current split is 2 pull days, 2 push days, and 1 leg day. So chest, shoulders, tries, hitting them twice a week. Back buys, hitting those twice a week. Resting 2 days a week and 1 leg day per week. So would TRT be a bad idea if I still want to have kids? Nah, man, honestly, I mean, for one, depending on your genetics, TRT, you're still very much fertile on TRT. I mean, there's literally open pro bodybuilders that are on cycle and, they're still able to have kids. Obviously, it's person dependent. But I think the more important question is, if you have low tests, how is your quality of life? Because I would suggest getting on TRT to at least bring your test to a normal, healthy range is going to improve your quality of life a whole lot more. And then there's also fertility protocols, man. Like if you get on TRT and let's say, you and your wife, try to have a baby for a year and it's just not working, you can literally run a fertility protocol while on cycle. You can come off cycle, run a fertility protocol. With the amount of peptides that are out now, man, like it's a lot easier. Top 3, sleep, grow, sleep. I don't know what the question is. Ask me that again, Godmod. Yeah, I love volunteering at the shelter. Honestly, I have not gone in a while. I like to go, like, at least try to go like once or twice a month, but I just no excuse, man. I need to go. Honestly, I think what happens is like I'll want to go on like a rest day, and then the rest day I end up having to go, to the grocery store and get a haircut, and then by the time I finish running errands and I get home, it's like 3 p.m. and the shelter closes like at 4. So I really just have to set some time aside and get back in there, man. One top set, one back off set. Yeah, that's literally what I do, bro. Occasionally, if the movement feels really, really good, I'll just do 2 top sets and 1 back off set, or I'll do 1 top set and then 2 back off sets. So that works. That's usually what I like to do, but never more than 3 sets. Best exercise for the lower lats and the long tricep head. So honestly, man, my lower lats suck. My triceps suck as well. But a couple of the things that I've been doing to really, really try to improve that is doing a lot of low row movements. So think of like a machine that you can grab underhand and keep that elbow tucked in. That's really, really going to hit that low lat. And then another movement I've been kind of spamming all off season is like a single arm cable row. So get on the cable rows, preferably a dual cable row where they have 2 hooks. and then you just grab like a rubber handle, metal handle, whatever your gym has, and you simply just grab the handle, keep the elbow tucked in, keep the shoulder down, and just drive that elbow right into the lat. And that's helped me a lot, honestly, just getting that thickness and also building that mind muscle connection with the low lat. And then as far as the long tricep head, anything overhead triceps. Personally, I like cables just because it feels the best on my joints. You could do dumbbells and do, say, like skull crushers with dumbbells, but that's obviously going to be more torque on your joints. So that's why I like to do cables. So V bar, easy curl bar, get on the cable and really isolate that long head. For the college football championship, I'm going to go Indiana, bro, just because they got my future quarterback, Mendoza. So Raider fan here. So, and he's had an amazing season, won the Heisman. Last 2 games, bro's just been absolutely cooking. So hopefully he gets the job done. But it would be cool to see Miami too, bro. Let's see here. 15 of you guys in here. I appreciate it, man. Honestly, I was expecting maybe like a handful of people. So to have 15, 17 people in here, I really, really appreciate it. No, I don't really log anything, bro. Honestly, God mod. I don't really necessarily track progression with reps or weight. I train very, very intuitively. So like 1 week I might feel really, really strong and I send it. The next week I might want to go a little bit lighter and just go for better contractions. I really, really just train intuitively and how I feel in the moment. So let's see here. A bad experience with the compound and then ran it again and felt fine. For example, NPP. Honestly, man, that is tough. For me, I've never really had bad experiences with a compound. I feel like I've always kept my dosages pretty low, and that's been, that's allowed me to mitigate a lot of the side effects that could potentially come. But as far as like my body responding to it or not accepting it, I really haven't had that. I remember when I was like 20, I took D-ball, and I feel like it just gave me gyno and made me look really, really watery. And I've never taken it since. I just feel like there's so many compounds out there. If you don't want to take NPP, there's no need, honestly. It's a good compound, but like, for example, like some people don't really like taking EQ. Well, then in that case, you could just take Mass, Primo, whatever it may be. Let's see here. Don Long, Dennis James probably said to bring up his back. You do 4 to 5 sets of pull up every time you sit in the gym. Dude, honestly, that's a really, really good point. 4 to 5 sets of pull ups. I actually been doing like assisted pull ups. For one, because my heavy ass can probably only do a handful of body weight pull ups, but assisted pull ups, I feel like I'm really able to, go very, very slow and just squeeze the back, hold it, control the negative, open up the lats. I've been loving, honestly, assisted pull-ups. But I could definitely imagine how doing like 4 to 5 sets of pull-ups every time you trained, that would bring up your back. I'm honestly going to watch that podcast with Don Long because I watch the Dennis James podcast all the time. Any thoughts about little Andes in the future? Honestly, bro, that doesn't really cross my mind too much. I'm kind of just so focused on like the goals that I have that I don't really think about anything like that. And I'm also not really big on doing anything that's going to take away from me doing those goals. Not that, you can't compete or not, make it to the Olympia with a child. It's definitely possible, but I think it just makes things a lot harder. I would rather be probably in my 30s, more financially stable, more stable long term, and have a very, very simple life set up. You guys see Scooter in the back. But yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, having kids would be great, but right now it's not really in the cards. I haven't really thought about that, to be quite honest, man. Those are the two pups right there, guys. We got Scooter and then we got Ash. They found a way to get their heads through the blinds, and now they could stare outside. So anytime they hear a car or a door or someone walking by, they stick their big old heads right there. But someone must be home because they're wagging their tails. Okay, let's see. 2023. Okay. Yeah, bro. God mod. I'm gonna try that. Honestly, I'm gonna go find the episode from 2023. I'll probably just type in Menace Podcast Don Long and I'll listen to that, bro. Because I've tried literally everything for my back. I've tried in the beginning of my career the heavy barbell rows, the T-bar rows, the rack pulls, the deadlifts, and my back still looked like shit. So I've tried a lot, but one thing I have not tried is doing pull-ups 5 sets every single time. So I think that's definitely just hammering it with volume, and the pull-ups are good because you're going to work your upper back, your lats. So that's really, really good. NHL, NFL, or MLB, definitely NFL, bro. I used to watch the MLB when I was younger, but as I got older, bro, I was just like, this shit is too slow. I can't do it. It's not exciting. You know, you got games that are 1-0, 1-2-0. Like, it's too slow. And then they added the pitch count in, which is cool. It speeds it up a little bit, but even then, it's still just really, really slow. I prefer NBA or NFL. There's just a whole lot more going on. It's a lot quicker. And then I've never really watched hockey either. So definitely NFL guy, man. Does gear change when you're bulking versus cutting? Yeah, it does in a way. I mean, there's only so many compounds that you can run. But most of the time when you get closer to a show, you're running more fast esters rather than long esters. So, for example, a lot of people will take Mast E in the off season, and then as they get closer to the show, they might switch to Mast Prop. Same with test too. And then most of the time, you're not going to take, say, something like Winstrol in the off season. That's going to be, when body fat levels are already really, really low, and you want to bring a little bit more hardness to the physique in those final weeks. How big is Michael DeBull in person? Michael DeBull is big in person. He's a little bit shorter than me, and in normal clothes, he actually doesn't look super, huge or anything like that. Like a lot of the classic guys, they're not like super huge in like clothes, like how say like an open guy is. Like, I've seen Nick Walker a handful of times, and I've seen some other open guys. And like when they walk around in normal clothes, they just look like just insane. But Michael DeBull is so crazy in person. Because I've competed with him 3 times actually. And every time I've seen him backstage, like his skin up close is just paper thin. Like literally when bro walks, like you could see his glutes striated as he walks. Like his skin is like translucent. It's insane. 19 people in here. What is up, man? I'm so hyped. 19 people, bro. I'll take it for the first live stream. Yes, sir. Let's see. Favorite podcast? Probably Bro Chat. I watch a lot of them. I watch Cutler Cast. I watch IFBB AMA. I watch, Bro Chat. I think is there any. Oh, sometimes Joe Rogan. Not all the time though. Honestly, gonna say Bro Chat. Bro Chat is tried and true. Love my Bro Chat. 20 people. Let's go. How have I gained so much tissue since starting my bodybuilding career? Honestly, man, I just haven't really ever taken time off since being 14 years old, and I'm 27 now. Like you'll see a lot of guys, they do a show and they just fall off the wagon for 3 years and then they try to come back or something. I personally I've never taken any time off, man. Just like a show is over, I'm right back on my diet. I put on all the size and make the improvements that I need to, and then I do another show. I'm on top of it, do the show, and then it's just nonstop. Day after day, year after year. Just constantly trying to make improvements, get bigger, get better, more refined, more complete, more balanced. So, and obviously, that's supplementation, PEDs, that's proper coaching, proper food, proper sleep, proper training. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. No, I am still in the 559. Still in the 559, man. Been here my whole life. Thought about moving out a lot of times, like to Dallas. One time I was thinking about moving out to Florida. But honestly, I think the thing that keeps me here is just the fam. I got all my family here, literally all of my family, my nephew, my sister, my brothers, my dad, my mom, my girl, her family's here. She lives here, obviously. All my super, super close friends are here. If I were to move somewhere, I wouldn't have anyone there. I would have to literally make all new friends. Wouldn't have my family there. That sucks. Pro stage, every single detail. Help. Yeah, man. The pro stage, I mean, it is a game of margins. It's a game of inches. You could take two people with identical physiques, and maybe one just has slightly better posing and could present himself a little bit better, and that's going to make the difference. Or someone could have a slightly better peak, and maybe their fullness is a little bit better than the next guy. That's all it takes, for that person to lose the show. So yeah, man. What TV show? That's tough. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV shows, man, but I would say Breaking Bad is a go-to. I really liked Reacher. I watched all 3 seasons of Reacher. Um, my girl has watched The Walking Dead like 3 times, and she has seen Stranger Things multiple times, and she's been trying to get me to watch Stranger Things for a long time. But I never have. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be into it. But maybe I'll have to give it a chance because everyone seems to watch Stranger Things and love it. Yeah, bro. I got a whole roster full of people right now. Got a couple people lined up to do shows this year here in May, and then maybe a few in September as well. Lifestyle clients too. A lot of people on the roster just, dropping 10 to 15 pounds. A lot of people just trying to build muscle as well. Just a lot. I get a lot of inquiries that are like, they feel like they've hit a plateau and they don't really know what to do. And they feel like they're, kind of just stuck at a certain weight and they want to reach a higher weight. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people, same with dropping weight too. Sometimes people will cut, and honestly, a lot of the times it's just like very, very minor changes that they need. And most people know how to, eat healthy and be consistent, but sometimes you'll look at a plan and, they have way too many carbs or way too many fats. And like, if you could just tweak a couple things, and then, for example, they'll say like, hey, I'm not losing weight. Ask them how much cardio they've been doing, and they're only doing 15 minutes of cardio. Well, most times for most people, the cardio, or at least the activity as such as steps and output, is going to have to go up just so to make sure that person is in a deficit. So, CBUM in person. Yeah, I've met Chris. I think I talked to him maybe 3 times. The last time I saw him was in 2024 when I was at the Raw Gym grand opening. That was super, super cool. Just talked to him for a quick second because he was in the middle of a workout. But in 2020 at the, I think, LA Fit Expo, I talked to him for maybe like 15 minutes. It was so cool. But he's super chill, man. He's super, super chill. Any do you know of TNF? I don't think I've ever heard of TNF, bro. Thursday Night Football? I don't know. Any of my family members into fitness? Not to my level. I don't have any family members that like compete or anything like that. My little brother, my youngest little brother, he's 20, 21. and he's into the gym a lot. Like he takes pre-workout. He's always asking me for advice, you know, regarding his diet, how he should be training, you know, how to fill certain movements on certain exercises. So that's pretty cool. And then honestly, my mom goes to the gym like every single day. She's lost like 30 pounds. She's killing it too. So um, Stranger Things is good. It's on the last season. Yeah, bro. Literally, my whole entire feed, people are talking about Stranger Things. And I think the problem with me is that I'm not really big on like the sci-fi fake kind of make believe stuff. Like I'm just not really into it. Like I watched It, that movie with the clown. Like It Too, I think I watched with my girl, and she's like, she loves that movie, and I'm just like, I don't understand. It's like a clown, but he doesn't exist, and then he morphs into other things. I'm just like, this is just not realistic for me. I just can't get into it, you know. So I prefer like more realistic things. For example, like Breaking Bad, although it's, you know, a fictional series, that's like a real scenario I could see happening where someone starts cooking meth and then, you know, they start making a ton of money and all these things. So I'm able to get more invested when I feel like it's more realistic. Um, Home gym setup? No, I don't have a home gym. I just have the treadmill right here behind me. And then in the other living room, I have the Stairmaster, which is pretty cool. I would have put it in this room, but these ceilings aren't high enough. These are just like regular, like 8, 10 foot ceilings. The Stairmaster literally couldn't fit. Well, I put it in here, and by the time I got to like the top step, my head was hitting the ceiling. So I had to move it to the other room. I do want to get like an ab machine though. And then I got this little leg stretching machine, which I do usually every morning to stretch out the legs. But I do have a little posing room set up. If I can get like an ab machine, like a leg raise machine, that would be all I needed. Maybe like a calf machine. That would be sick, like a calf raise. Is Michael Hurt a genetic anomaly? Michael Hearn is definitely a genetic anomaly, regardless if he's natty or not. If he's natty, that just proves it even more. But even if he's not, bro, I mean, to be in your 50s and look that good, to be ripped, like to be that strong, that healthy, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Definitely a genetic anomaly. Um, Macros, do you actually weigh your meals on a food scale? Oh, Joel, I've been weighing my food for like 7, 8 years straight, bro. Every single meal. I even weigh like pre-workout protein powder, just to make sure I'm getting the right servings, right? Like, you know, you might think, okay, you know, 1 scoop of this protein powder or 1 scoop of this pre-workout is, you know, X amount of caffeine, right? Well, then you'll look actually at the bottle and it says serving size 31 grams. And you put a scoop in there and it's only 26 grams. So, I mean, I measure pre workout on the food scale, I measure everything. So, you know, if I'm putting peanut butter in my meals, I'm weighing out the peanut butter, weighing out the jasmine rice. Like I get 100 grams of fruit in 3 of my meals. I'll slice up an apple or a banana, whatever fruit I'm having at that meal. I'll weigh it out. So, yeah, bro, at this level, everything, bro. You got to weigh out everything. Um, Biggest and freakiest open bodybuilder I've seen in person. I'm going to go ahead and say Nexzilla. I don't know if you know who Nexzilla is, but his name is Rubiel. Um, Literally, when I was at the Olympia, I was tanning, and how they do it at the Olympia when you're getting tanned is it's pretty much this really big room, and there's maybe like 10 little tanning tents, and there's like 6 or 7 girls in there doing the tan, right? And so there's open guys, there's men's physique guys, there's classic guys. And obviously, when you tan, most of the guys are just naked because you have to tan the whole body, you know, your butt, legs, everything. So I remember I'm getting my tan, it finishes, and there's all these fans, right? There's always fans because you got to go step in front of the fans, and, you know, they help your tan dry before you can put your clothes on. So the lady finishes up my tan. She's like, go ahead and stand in front of the fans. The moment I step out of the tent, I see Rubiel, butt ass naked, standing in front of the tent, or not in front of the tent, standing in front of the fan, and bro's calf was like the size of my damn leg, like size of my quad. And he was just standing there relaxed, and I'd never seen, like, it didn't even look human. It looked like something off of Stranger Things, honestly. Um, and it was just crazy, bro. Just seeing his legs and his calves. I mean, his calves were this wide. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, bro. And then also he's shredded to the bone. So it's like you see this massive ass dude who's also peeled to the bone. So that's probably the craziest one I've seen in person. Is Trinity packed in the morning or the time you go? Yeah, so I usually go in the mornings, like 10 a.m. or so, or around like 12:30 p.m., depending if I'm training after one or two meals. And then honestly, it's some days it's busy, some days it's not. I noticed on like Mondays, Sundays, and like I don't know, like Thursdays it's not really busy, and then certain days like Friday or like Tuesday, I don't know. Some days it's busy and like you can't even get a machine and everything's taken, and then sometimes it's dead. Like today it was kind of busy, but the other day when I went, like on Sunday, there's like nobody in the leg room. Like there's two other people in the leg room. And some days I go and there's 10 people in the leg room. So I honestly don't know, bro. I'm still trying to figure out what the best time is to go. God mod. Yeah, Nexzilla, bro. His legs. Uh, I mean, they look big on Instagram and they look big on stage, but imagine seeing them like up close in the flesh, bro. Um, it's insane. Chest striations, tips, or just genetics. The main thing is going to be body fat levels. If you're 30% body fat, you're not going to see any striations anywhere. For me specifically, my chest is like one of my, I would feel like one of my stronger body parts. And I've always connected with it well. And also it's one of my body parts that stays really, really lean. For example, like my back and my glutes, they'll hold a majority of my fat, even on my stomach. But like my chest, like it'll stay like kind of, lean like all year. So when I get really, really lean, there's a ton of striations in there. So that's going to be mainly like a development thing, making sure your chest is fully developed. It has some muscle maturity on there, and then also body fat being low enough as well. Yeah. So I mean, Trinity has the prime leg extension, um, which is it's my favorite leg extension probably ever. I love it. I do wish they had more prime for sure. Um, there's so many good pieces by Prime. Even their pin loaded stuff is so good. Yeah, I mean they do have a lot of amazing equipment though. So and they still have more coming. I honestly I wish they would get some new tech in there. I don't know if you have ever used any new tech stuff. It's kind of a newer brand, but new tech stuff, bro, is next level. Um, when you run EQ, do you have to dump blood frequently? Honestly, man, I have not ran EQ since like 2021, honestly. Um, so honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. Um, I usually dump blood pretty frequently, at least like twice a year, maybe. But I only dump blood if I need it. If my blood pressure is in a healthy range, there's literally no reason to dump blood. Um, but I also, yeah, I don't really ever use EQ, and I haven't used it in years, so I couldn't really tell you honestly. But I do know EQ is prone to like raise, blood cell counts. So some people, it definitely raises the blood pressure on there. Ultimate goal for 2026 is make it back to the damn Olympia. Like honestly, man, making it back to the Olympia and then placing better than I did last year. That's the goal for me. I really, really, really want to make it back to the Olympia, and it's going to be a lot harder this year with the point system in place. You're going to have to win two shows. You're going to have to qualify on points. It's going to be insane. But I'm up for the challenge. That is the main goal for 2026. Video games, man, honestly, I have not played video games in probably like, I don't know, maybe a little over a year. I used to be really big into Fortnite. Like I would hop on Fortnite every night for like 3, 4 hours. I had like a little squad I would play with, and we'd always run trios or we'd run squads for hours and hours and hours. But honestly, I just stopped. I just stopped playing it. Uh, so honestly, yeah, as far as video games go, yeah, man, haven't really touched any video games in a long time. I honestly don't even really watch TV, play video games, or anything like that. Just because throughout the day, like I don't really just sit down and watch anything. I usually watch either sports or I'm watching like a podcast or I'm watching a YouTube video or something like that. Or I'm editing my own content. So if like I have a gap in between meals and I want to post a YouTube video, I'll be editing that. How many sets do you do per week for each body part roughly? Oh, that's tough, man. I honestly couldn't tell you. I would probably say so. Right now, the split is 2 push days, 2 pull days, and 1 leg day. And each day, for example, like on my pull days, I usually do 5 exercises for back. And I usually do about 2 sets each, one working, one back off. So that would make it around 10 sets twice a week. That's around 20 sets. So, and then I'd probably say the same for like push. Push, I usually only do like 3 chest exercises, 2 sets each. So that's about 6 sets twice a week, 12 sets. So around there, bro, to be honest. 20 people in here. Let's go. We have been live for 1 hour. Favorite back machine at Trinity? Definitely going to be that new Mega Mass T-bar row or that Mega Mass one-arm pull down. I've been literally using those twice a week, every week since they got there. Would I compete internationally to qualify for the Olympia? At some point, I would like to go international, but it's just tough, man. Doing like an 18-hour flight, 20-hour flight, and then competing a couple of days after, it's tough for sure. And also, flights are expensive, man. Like if you're gonna go compete, like in Dubai or something, you're paying a couple grand just to get there. And then, not to mention, like you got to go try to find an Airbnb for a week there. And then I don't know. It just seems like very stressful if you don't know like where you're going or what you're doing, right? So yeah. Of course, John. Appreciate you joining in, man. Means a lot. Um, Favorite way of getting fats? Honestly, if it was up to me, bro, I would have a muffin. Muffin, you're gonna get like 20 grams of fat, and that muffin pump goes crazy. But right now, with my diet, my coach is not very big on fat. She's very, very low fat and more higher carb. So right now, the only fat sources I have are whole eggs, nut butter, and then ground beef. But definitely like some form of beef and whole eggs are probably my favorite. And then nut butter goes good with anything. So whether it's almond butter, peanut butter, you throw that in your oats, you throw it on a banana. I mean, you throw it in your cream of rice. Can't go wrong with nut butter. Trinity or JB? I really like both, man. I really, really like both. Close with both the owners, of course. They both have their perks, man. Like if I just want to like get in, get out, kind of just like get to my workout. Okay, for example, in prep, right? Sometimes I don't have the energy and I don't really want to like talk to anyone, right? I just want to get in, get out. JB's is perfect because I'll go there. The gym is like not super busy ever, so I'm able to just like get all the machines I need. I'm never having to wait for a piece of equipment. They have some really good lighting in there, really good pieces of equipment too. And it's just very like a low key spot. I can get in, get out. But then sometimes at Trinity, Trinity, They have a lot of the big windows in there, so I really like the natural light, especially for taking like check-in photos there. They have a ton of equipment, Mega Mass, old school pieces, some prime, some hammer strength. They have a ton of stuff, man. Old school pieces, new pieces, and then also like everyone I know goes to Trinity. Like all my boys go to Trinity. My clients go to Trinity. I'm super cool with everyone at the front desk at Trinity. So I really like going there just for the energy, like I look forward to going there to like socialize with some people and, see some people, right? Um, will I ever move up to open or not? Honestly, that's that's tough, man. It's tempting for sure, but I just keep in mind that I have to really, really, um, you know, be a mass monster at my height. Yeah, if I'm 5'11", um, being 5'11" and being an open bodybuilder, I'm gonna have to be 300 pounds at least, and that's 300 pounds, bro. I mean, at 250, 255, I am pretty uncomfortable. Like sleeping, getting comfortable. Like my neck gets stiff, my lower back's always tight. Trying to tie my shoes is like kind of a mission. Getting in and out of the car is kind of hard. Sitting on an airplane is hard. So I could not imagine, you know, being 300 pounds, 5'11". That's tough, man. But I don't know. If I outgrow classic and that's my only option, then maybe. Um, let's see here. Kind of get through some of these questions. Was there a certain year you gained a ton of muscle, or has it been a steady climb? I feel like it's been kind of steady, but I'd say probably like the last 2 years, really just nailing the reverse right after the show. It's allowed me to stay lean throughout the off season, allowed my body to be very, very responsive all year long, off season long. I've been able to push the food super high while staying lean. And the last 2 years, I put on like 10 pounds of tissue. So hopefully I did that again this year. Um, let's see here. Five Guys In and Out. Honestly, bro, I've had Five Guys one time in my life, and it was good. But because it's not a drive-through, I can never see myself driving to Five Guys, finding parking, walking in, sitting down. Like In and Out's just convenient, bro. It never misses. I feel like it's a lot cleaner too. From what I hear, Five Guys, like their burgers are really like greasy. I don't know. That's just what I hear. Um, but In and Out is always hitting. You can go out of In and Out 10 out of 10 times. You're getting the same service, same quality, same taste. And I got my order down, two double doubles, two fries, pink lemonade, or Diet Coke. But I think the real question is In and Out or Chick-fil-A. That's a good one. No, I don't use any avocado for fats. Avocado is really good. I love avocado. If I ever have a cheat meal and there's like a burger with some avocado in it, love that. But right now, no, there's no avocado in my plan, and there hasn't been in a few years. Um, favorite? Oh, last time I went to GB3. Honestly, I still go to GB3 periodically. I never really go and train there. What I do at GB3 is I'll go and I'll hit, because there's one right by my house. I'll go hit my cardio there, hit some calves, stretch, hit some abs, sit in the sauna. So yeah, I definitely like going to GB3 for like, some morning stuff, morning cardio, touch up work, sauna. That's always good. But yeah, GB3 is so busy, bro. Even if I go like at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, it's still busy. I'm like, how are these people? Like, do these people not have jobs? Do these people not work? How is it 8 in the morning? And, there's 500 people at the gym. So I don't know. Favorite Buckeye brownie, bro, that's going to be the PB Paradise. The thing with Buckeye brownies is they come out with stuff every month. So it's like they'll do a drop where there's like 4 flavors, but then they're gone. So your best bet is to get I think it's called their OG pack. And it's like 4 of their just best flavors. And there's like a birthday cake one. There's like a chocolate chip one. The PB Paradise is literally like brownie, peanut butter, nutter butter, and like Reese's Pieces in there. So you can't go wrong, bro. Personally, that's my favorite just because I love chocolate peanut butter. Like Reese's Cups has been my favorite candy forever. So favorite rolls from Tazuki. Uh, Dude, honestly, I can't even think right now. Dragon roll, sexy girl roll, or I don't even know. I think sexy girl roll might be at a different sushi place, but dragon roll, volcano roll, spider roll. I mean, honestly, right when I go, I try all of them. I just like if I haven't tried it, just bring it. Although I will say, the last time I went a couple weeks ago, not only did I wait 2 hours to get in there, these fools were like making me wait on purpose. So like how it works is they only let you order 2 rolls to start. So I ordered the 2 rolls, obviously finished them in 2 seconds. Well, then I'm like waiting for my waitress to come back so I can, order another 2 rolls. And she like did not come back to our table for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, come on, man, this food is settling. And then finally, when I was able to, flag her down and she came and took the order for the another 2 rolls, it must have took another 20 minutes for them to bring the rolls. It just seemed like they were kind of like phasing our table out. It's like that's probably like a tactic they use. They're like, okay, like we want these people to get full and not order a ton because it's all you can eat. So the less sushi they get, the better for their margins. So like if they can, spread out the sushi like 20 minutes in between, most people are going to get full after, a couple rolls, and then they'll get up and leave. Versus if they're bringing rolls like really, really quick, someone could slam 6, 7 rolls, no problem. So I was a little bit upset the last time I went. 5'11" and open is Samson level. Yeah, bro. That's exactly. Even like 6'1", Andrew Jack level. These guys are mass monsters, biggest people in the whole world. Cardio right now is 15 minutes, 4 days a week, which I know is nothing. But the reason it's that low is because anymore, my body weight will just start to drop. So it's like literally minimal. If I did say 20 minutes, 5 days a week, my weight would just drop and I would have to eat more food. So that's why the cardio is so low. Okay, let's get through a couple more of these. Can you break down how you make your income as a pro bodybuilder? So, I mean, there's a lot of different streams. I think as someone who's self-employed, it's important to have many, many streams of income, as many as you can. So like some people just rely on just coaching, right? So they try to like build their coaching business, have 60, 70 clients, and their main priority is bodybuilding and their coaching business. And that's it. Maybe they don't have any sponsors. There's some people that do a little bit of coaching, but they also have, a handful of sponsors, and their sponsors pay them salary. But with that salary comes sponsorship obligations. So you got to post, you have to make, user generated content, you have to promote, you have to, fly places. And for me, I'm doing both. So I have my coaching business on the side that I keep steady throughout the year. And then I also have like 6 sponsors right now. And like 4 of those are salary. 3 of those, or 3 or 4 of them, are salary based. And then the other 2 are just commission based. But so 6 of them are commission based. So my job is like really, really promote the drops, promote my code so people can use my code. The more code usage I have, the more commission I get, the more sales I bring in, the bigger my contracts can potentially be as far as like salary. And then just building up my coaching business as well and keeping that as consistent as I can. And then just recently, I started making money from YouTube, although not a substantial amount of money. I'm talking like maybe $150 a month. But I'm thinking like if I'm making $150 a month, if I can get it to a point where maybe say I'm making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're making $2,000 a month from 4 to 5 different streams of income, that's when it starts to seem and become like very, very lucrative, right? And that's not even including, prize money, that type of stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get through a couple more here. been on for an hour and 15 minutes, but it's time for your boy to eat. Need this meal in. So I'm just going to get through a couple more. 17 people in here. I appreciate all you guys. I'm actually going to see if I can see the top fans right here. Travels with P. Oh, Travels with P and B. What is good? Number 1. Kyler. Number 2. Joel. Number 3. Drew. Number 4. LaCaleb. Number 5. Appreciate all you guys, man. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's get back to these questions. Let's see here. What's your max weight you're allowed to compete at for your height? 227 pounds. Bryce, my guy, hope you're doing well as well, man. I see you. You got the career, man. You got the good job that you always wanted. Happy to see it, bro. Much blessings to you and your fam, and your dogs too. Will I be doing more live chats in the future? Honestly, man, I am pretty stoked about how this went. 15 to 20 people in here the whole time. A good amount of questions in here. I'm pretty happy with it, bro, to be honest. And I think with how YouTube works, the more you do stuff, the more consistent you are, the more it is. So, I mean, let's say next time I do it, I get 25 to 30 people in here. And then, you know, if I actually have a schedule where I'm doing this 3 times a week at 6 to 7 p.m., I'm excited. So, yes, I will be for sure. If I would just flex for old men if I was self-employed and bodybuilding, bro. Let me tell you, there is a lot of old men that will pay for a lot of stuff, man. I get DMs all the time. Send me socks, send me posing trunks, send me sweaty gym clothes. Yeah, man, there's money out there to be made. It just kind of depends on like what you're willing to do and what you're comfortable with. I mean, there's some people that literally do go meet up with people in person, flex with them, and get paid $5,000. But personally, I would not do that because I am not comfortable with that. But to each their own, right? Let's see. Favorite gym in Vegas? That's going to be the New Tech Gym for sure. Love Dragon's Lair, love Torture Gym, but the New Tech Gym is so huge. They have literally everything imaginable. All right. Okay, one more. Is it possible to use insulin without fat gain? Yes, it is. You just have to make sure you're not eating more than you're supposed to, because even if you're on insulin, if you just eat a bunch of pizza and junk food, you'll still get fat regardless. So just making sure that diet is on point and making sure you're not eating in excess and you're only eating, you know, what your body can handle. So Purple Dragon, appreciate you. I will definitely do more videos and lives. Guys, much love. If you guys rewatch this, I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for asking questions. Very, very happy with how this went. So appreciate the love and the support. And we out.